Hey everybody, this is Rachel. Thanks for clicking on my video. And as you can see, I came in today to do a review of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta's reunion show. Let me just tell y'all right off, I was totally disgusted that I waited or watched all this season for what we saw tonight. This shit was all over the place. I mean, they couldn't have these people in the same room because, you know, it was too dangerous. They searching them before they come in, you know, even though they weren't even all going to be in the same room. They had to move the venue. This shit tonight was all over the place. And my review is going to be all over the place. It seems like to me that Joseline is running the show. Basically, like my title said, they created a monster, and that monster's name is Joseline. So let me just get to it, because it seems like Mona would have been able to rein these people in, threatening them with their paychecks. Look, come here, act right, or else you're not going to get paid something. But I guess even with the threat of that, she couldn't get these folks together. So I'm just going to start where I have my notes. I don't even know if this is in the right order, but it is what it is. So I just remember Mimi and Carly. Mimi was there. They looked nice, whatever. I liked the white and all of that. Carly could have did away with that cutaway in the front of her shirt. It was too much cleavage. But basically they just talked to Mimi. You know, they mentioned about Stevie J and Joseline being married. Mimi claims that she knew all along that they weren't, and that she played along with it. They talked about Joseline setting her up, telling her that Stevie had these other babies, and how, you know, Joseline strung her along. And it was that whole little thing right there. Now, Mimi refused to be on the set with Joseline. Basically, you know, they were going to bring Joseline in, and Mimi said that if Joseline was there, she was going to get up and leave, and pretty much she did. There wasn't too much more to that whole thing with Mimi and Carly's little part of it. If it was, I don't even remember, because after seeing the way that this was set up, and I have been saying all season with everything that was going on that this reunion show could have been really good if Mona would have reined them in, but I guess she couldn't. So the next thing I remember is Joseline and KK. And they sit down and basically they talk about when Joseline accused Stevie J and KK of sleeping together. And basically Joseline brought up KK's, you know, charges of, you know, stealing those purses, and called her all kinds of bitches and hoes. Eventually KK couldn't take it. You know, they had security standing there, and KK kept jumping up, but Joseline was sitting there all like a queen and smug and all that. Like I said, in Joseline, they have created a monster, because this bitch seems to believe that she is like the queen of the show, and they're treating her like that. To me, Joseline dictated how the reunion was going to be. This shit was crazy. So, and like I said, this is in no particular order. It's just what I remember. The next thing that I remember was Bambi, Scrappy, Mama D, and Betty Idol. And Betty Idol is so fucking annoying. That voice and just everything about her. She's a cute girl, but she is annoying. They asked her, did her and Scrappy ever sleep together? She said no. Now, they had asked Scrappy, you know, what did he see in her, blah, blah, blah. Scrappy says that he just thought she was a cute girl and that she was talented or whatever. Now, the one thing I will say about this scene and Bambi got Scrappy together. meaning that Scrappy almost act like he's scared of her. Because when she looked to him and said, you think she's cute? And she has Scrappy stutter and stuff. And I just think that is so funny. Now, Betty Idol and Bambi kind of got into it, and Bambi pretty much got her together. Bambi told her, look, you got your ass whooped by Tammy, and you for running your mouth and all this stuff. And Betty Idol's hollering about her damn hair again. No, if you call pulling my hair, whooping my ass, blah blah blah. So her and Bambi was going back and forth, and eventually the host, I think her name is Nina, said, we're not getting anywhere with this. They demiked Betty Idol and ushered her ass off the set before Bambi whooped her ass, because Bambi was aggravated by her, and you could just tell that she wasn't for any drama with Betty Idol. And I think Bambi would have got up, pushed her dress to the side, and whooped Betty Idol's ass right there. And Scrappy was trying his best to rein it in, but he can't control Bambi just like he can't control his mother. And they even said that Bambi had some of Mama D's traits. That shit was just crazy. Now, I remember them talking to K. Michelle. She's another one that I think has just gotten a little bit too big in the head. Because, they asked her why she came back. And basically, she said she wanted to rub her success in the Atlanta cast face. And, I like K. Michelle. I think she's funny. But let's face it, she ain't out here all like that. I mean, she's had some success from where she originally started on the show. But because she's acting so arrogant, even though you like her, you're like, okay, now, come on, K. Michelle. It's not all, all that. And then they had asked her about Jessica Dime. And basically she said Jessica Dime was, now this is not her words, but this is all that it boils down to. She was a ghetto ass trashy bitch. And she just doesn't have time for her now. That shit was crazy. And then speaking of Jessica Dime, and again, this is not in any particular order. There was on the set, it was Jessica Dime and Young Jock. And Jessica Dime really doesn't have a storyline. I call her the girl. When shit is going on, like when the shit was going on with Carly and her man, she just was like because she really doesn't have anything to add. Think about it. She doesn't have any storyline on her own. She is just the girl. When they talking about what's going on, she's And then pretty much after Scrappy stood her up and passed her off to Jock, that shit was crazy. And she looked like a damn fool. And then they had asked Jessica Dime about the whole scene when Bambi was in the restaurant and Jessica Dime had brought up that Scrappy had been hitting her up. And they asked her if she was trying to make Bambi jealous. And she said that she wasn't. That just because Bambi seemed bothered, she played on it. But she actually was trying to make her jealous. And it's funny because Scrappy didn't want her big walrus ass. He was obviously not interested in her because he passed her off to Jock. So I don't know what she was there trying to make Bambi jealous. And like Bambi said, they can't make her jealous. Scrap had to win her back. Scrappy, I should say, because now we got two Scraps. So and then the next thing I remember is they did a whole little thing with Stevie J and Joseline. And Stevie J would not sit on the set with Joseline. He refused. So again, like I said, Joseline is ruling this whole entire reunion. They have created a monster. I'll say it again. So basically he said that the reason why he didn't want to sit on the set with her because Joseline was sweeting and pictures and Instagram all before the reunion, all the stuff about him being gay, the allegations about him molesting Eva, and just all kind of shit she was talking. So Stevie J, he didn't want no parts of her. And then they cut to Joseline. She's sitting up there still talking about their marriage. I was just, trying to cry and stuff, and saying she has nothing to say to him, and that it was pretty much over. And that host had asked her, did she think that, she'd seen them get back and forth together, several times. Did she think that this time it's just a matter of maybe them cooling off and maybe they would get back together? And Joseline all crying phony, putting on an act. Like Mimi said, she's a good actress, saying that too much has happened. She doesn't think so. And pretty much then I believe it moved to Stevie, Tommy, KK, and I can't think of Scrap De Leon's brother, Sass. His name is Sass. And they were on the set. And they talked about that incident where Stevie J was supposed to go up to Tommy's room. He called her at the hotel and asked could he come to her room. And they were asking them, the host was asking Stevie and Tommy, did something happen between them? And they said no. Stevie looked really uncomfortable, and what Tommy said is no, nothing happened, but he had his beefcake all in my face. And Stevie J was like, I wasn't trying to do anything. I know this is my little cousin's woman, and he wasn't. And then Tommy just replied, you know how Stevie is, he probably didn't mean any harm, but he did have his shit in my face. And they talked about the little beef with Joseline, between Tommy and Joseline. And, they showed a clip of them out in the street, having this big old thing. And then they said that Joseline had put a restraining order against Tommy. And they had said that Joseline accused Tommy of trying to run her over. Now, y'all, I thought this was so funny. I like Tommy. I kind of like her. They need to keep her. If the show goes on, they need to keep her, because when they asked her, did you try to run Joseline over? She was like, yeah, I did. Like, she didn't make no bones about it. She didn't give a damn if she was on television. She didn't give a damn if they just said Joseline had put a restraining order on her child. The girl still said, yes, I did try to run her over. Now, I'm going to tell you, Joseline is quick to run up in a bitch's face, but she will not fuck with Tommy. Think about it. All these seasons Joseline has been on here beefing back and forth with people. Who was there anyone else that she ever put a restraining order on? So that tells you, as K. Michelle would say, Tommy got Joseline a little shook. It doesn't seem like Joseline want to tangle with Tommy. Because, see, I think Tommy would go for broke. She don't care. She got all these mug shots. She will pick up a bottle, whatever is available, jump on tables, across counters and everything. I think Tommy is like a fucking warrior. I don't think the fight would be over until Tommy done came out of shoes, clothes, wigs, whatever she got on, to get to Joseline, to fuck Joseline up. I think if those two ever tangle, it's going to be like an epic battle. Tommy is, I like her. I like her. And then the whole little thing with Joseline and the host, Nina. Now, Nina was just asking Joseline some questions about, the restraining order, and Joseline copped an attitude. And so she kind of said something like, you a little messy blogger. And Nina was like, no, bitch, I have a journalism degree. And Joseline was like, well, it's pretty much blowing off Nina. But Joseline was just upset because Nina was asking her questions. And basically, Joseline was like, this is my real life. You don't be questioning me. But I was sitting there thinking, you own a reality show. You did see Bitch. And you're at the reunion. If no other time somebody is going to ask you questions, you non-speaking, man-shouldered woman, this is the time. Didn't you expect when you came here that they were going to be asking you questions? But Joseline was all up in her feelings and doing this little superior thing that she has now. Like, even after she had told her that she wanted to move on, and Nina had told her, well, we're going to ask questions. And then when she said that thing about Nina being a blogger, and Nina, told her, no, bitch, I have a journalism degree, then that's when Nina was like, we'll move on then. And Joseline was told her, we should have moved on when I told you a few minutes ago to move on. Like, she damn queen of the fucking America or something. I'm telling you, I'll say it again. You remember Joseline from the first season when she had that little short mommy wig on, and she would tie her little bandanas around her hair. Now this bitch walking around like she is everything. They created a monster. Mona let this get to this. And then pretty much this last scene where they're filming everyone else, and Joseline's time is up, at the filming. She's away from the set. She gives them a call and says it's an emergency and she needs to speak to them. Now she comes in and sits down with one of these production assistants, and she tells her that she thinks she's pregnant. She goes into this whole thing about it's been 3 months. She hasn't had a period. She thought it was due to stress. And she has a little, pregnancy test that I guess shows that it's positive. So the girl tells her, maybe it's a mistake, let's take it again. Conveniently, they have another test sitting there. So Joseline and the little production assistant go into the bathroom. The girl actually goes into the bathroom with her. And then that's where it ends. But on the next show, I don't know, y'all. Because when they came out, if it was negative, why would they bring the test out to Stevie? And, that whole little clip where Stevie is saying, is she pregnant? And then they bring out the little pregnancy test that she took again in front of the production assistant. I don't know, y'all. Because since, during the time that we were waiting for the reunion show to come on, it's been a lot of pictures out there. And they're showing her with a growing stomach. Now, there's been some that she has a flat stomach and some that she has a little pooch on her. Now, if she's about 3-4 months, and you know how it's your first pregnancy, she may not show for a while. And I'm going to tell you why I said this might be possible. I have 2 kids. With my first one, I did not even show. I could wear my regular clothes till I was almost 6 months pregnant. I basically, had to unbutton my button on my jeans or whatever, but I could still zip them. So it's a possibility that she could be pregnant and not showing. Because again, I wore in my first pregnancy my regular jeans. I did not have to start wearing maternity clothes until I was in my 6th month. Now, Joseline does normally have half her body out, so you would be able to tell, if she's taking pictures and stuff, because she's normally half naked. Now, I cannot wait to see what this pregnancy test is going to hold, and Stevie J and Joseline. Because, they're supposed to be through. So, we'll see. They could still be through. But if he have a baby by her and he tied to this bitch for the next 18 or 20 years, she is literally going to drive him crazy. Y'all, and with that was the reunion show. Like I said, it was not the normal reunion show. I was so disappointed when I saw it because I thought they was going to get it popping on this show. I really thought it was going to be good. This shit, I don't know if y'all watched it, but it was all over the fucking place. Even to when K. Michelle arrived, I guess they told them to be dressed because, you know, they were bringing them in and just doing their little part of the reunion show and then sending them on and then bringing the next one in. So I guess they didn't have time for them to come in and get dressed and have their hair and makeup done. K. Michelle came in some sweatpants. She didn't have her hair done. And when they had searched her and told her that she was supposed to be dressed, she tried to leave. They had to go out and talk her into coming back, y'all. This shit, I don't know. Mona need to call a meeting if it's going to be a next season and sit all of them down with a bodyguard behind all of them at the meeting and tell them, you know, if you're going to be on the show next year, this is what I want and this is how it's going to be. And if you don't think you can go along with that, then get up and leave now, because she has totally lost control of this cast. And with that, y'all, thanks for watching. Whew, it wasn't what we thought it was going to be. Y'all have a great day. Bye bye now.